Hello, my name is Lloyd Fickett, and I'd like to share with you a very challenging choice point that my wife Lynn came to and that really we came to. She reached this point during the earlier period of her menopause of needing to have a hysterectomy. She had a fibroid tumor that had grown quite large, and it was clearly time to have this hysterectomy. And the choice that she needed to make was, do I take out my ovaries at the same time, or do I keep my ovaries? Her naturopathic leaning gynecologist said to her, Lynn, you should keep your ovaries. It's the natural thing to do. The ovaries will provide a small amount of hormones that will be helpful. Her surgeon said, Lynn, you really should. I strongly recommend that you take the ovaries out at the same time as you're getting this hysterectomy. And I remember us talking about this. And when we were talking about it, I knew nothing about what we were facing. I had no idea. And I do remember saying to Lynn, don't you think you should listen to your surgeon about this? And in the end, Lynn chose to keep her ovaries. Now, about 6 to 8 years later, in 2014, Lynn was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And as is today, very few women survive ovarian cancer. Lynn had a 5.5-year journey with ovarian cancer. She met it with such grace, spirit. We loved and supported each other all the way through until she finally died. Ovarian cancer is a brutal way to spend your life, a brutal way to die. One thing I'm thankful for is that during this 5.5 years of going through chemotherapy and all kinds of we tried all kinds of things. But one thing we either forgot all about was that decision that was made when she had her hysterectomy. Or else we just chose to put it away because you can't change the past. And the only way we could deal successfully and meet each other and love each other was just to deal with what we were dealing with right now. As I reflect back on this situation, one thing that I appreciate, one thing I recognize, is that if we had made a different choice that night, if Lynn had made a different choice, if she'd chosen to have her ovaries taken out, she would not have died from ovarian cancer. And I wish somebody would have warned me. I wish somebody would have brought to my attention the risk that we were taking, the risk that Lynn was taking in not having her ovaries out. Yes, there was a little risk in having her ovaries out of not having some hormones and things, risk that can be cared for. But I did not appreciate that we were taking the risk of her having a shorter life, that her life could be shortened as an outcome of this choice. What I know is an absolute fact is if she had chosen to have her ovaries out, she would not have died from ovarian cancer. And listen, I am not against naturopaths. When Lynn was going through ovarian cancer, the one thing the naturopaths were incredible about was supporting her between her sessions of chemotherapy and allowing her to recover in ways that left her oncologist scratching his head. Initially, he would say, "Boy, I don't know what you're doing, but it's working." And then eventually he would say, "Just keep doing what you're doing." It was close to miraculous, the kind of recovery she would have. So, I mean, if you ever found yourself in the place of having chemotherapy, I couldn't recommend strong enough to use a naturopath to support you in that process. And at the same time, doing what's natural isn't always the best thing for your health. And I just want you to know the risk that you could be taking if you choose to keep your ovaries. It is your choice, and I wish you the very best. Thank you for listening. If what Lynn and I did and waking up and sharing about it could save one person's life, that would be a gift. That's why I'm making this video, in hopes of having, at least influencing someone to take an action to move away from that risk of shortening your life. Thank you.